Hello everyone and welcome to Dr.Head podcast studio. We are here today with my co-host JM Elias.
Hello everyone.
JM is absolutely master of sound designing, sound recording, voiceover, and he worked with lots of different channels and programs like National Geographic and Al Arabia and other programs. He invited me to listen to his new monitors. So when he invited me as a joke, I said, we watch the monitors, we not listen to monitors. But he said, no, come over. So I came and he introduced me to a new world, new era. And then I realized that, oh my God, listening can be that amazing.
Yeah, we got you to listen to the Amphions, and that was completely new to you, right?
Oh yeah, that was new.
So you tell me, what was the difference between, your regular speakers and now that you listen to something that we consider in the audio world like pro audio?
Okay, I don't like you that much right now because then I cannot go back to my normal speakers or and then I need a pair of those speakers, which they are amazing. And I was able to hear things that I wasn't able before. Sound was amazing. I could hear bigger range of the sound and voices and even creaking, lots of things. That was amazing. So, and that was the Amphion. And today we are absolutely in one of my best days that we're sitting with the co-founder and CEO of the Amphion.
Our guest is, like you said, the co-founder of Amphion. And for me, like in the pro audio world, whenever you're looking at, you want the best of the best, like Amphion is always a name that comes up. So if you are in this world, you work in this world, you know how important it is to work with precision, transparency in terms of audio, to be able to dial in your sounds the way you want. And yeah, that's why we're here today, I think, to talk to the man who made that happen.
My name is Anssi, and if I'm red, it's because I'm blushing. I'm not used to these kind of things. And okay, maybe it's a little bit hot in here without the aircon as well. But we established Amphion 26 years ago. And really the goal is to offer a clean window into music and really stay out of the way. And it's really nice to have these kind of events, what we're having today at Dr.Head in Dubai, because then you see people's reactions. And sound, to me, is something that, unfortunately, most of the people haven't been exposed to that, to what it could be. I think you are one example that you think, the first thing people normally say, I'm not an audiophile, so I don't know about that stuff. That's not entirely true, because I think all of us are very, very knowledgeable when it comes to human voice. And if we just keep it simple and focus on the voice, we can actually experience things in a totally different manner, which is much more fulfilling than we thought that was possible before.
After listening to music and to soundtracks, to even the nature, sounds, it was an absolutely totally different experience. So I wanted to hear more and more. It was a clean, nice big window, as you mentioned. It was exactly. AJ knows better than me because AJ is coming from a professional environment. I can talk from household and daily base use experiences. So, and it's amazing to have a pair of these speakers in your TV room, next to your TV, and listen to them or listen to music, everything. And also he can a little bit elaborate and talk more about that professional world as well, which is amazing. But these speakers, it's a bridge between the professional world and the consumer and household usage. So we can talk about that.
A lot of the music that you listen to that you might not know how it was made was mixed and made on these speakers. No, you might not see it, but that's the bridge. Like the engineers that are working on these speakers are doing their best to translate and give you that quality of music through these speakers. And I think it's very important from the pro side, if we want to talk about the pro audio, is something that you said about the transparency, and not necessarily just the transparency of the sound, the transparency of the whole signal chain that you guys care about, that we might not find in today's monitoring world for the pro audio. I think this is something to touch on.
Yeah, first of all, of course, I think it's 100% true that there isn't a single person on the planet who haven't indirectly experienced our products. They've never heard of Amphion, but so many of course, so much of the Billboard music, gaming soundtracks, also a lot of stuff on Netflix or whatever streaming media is. For example, the latest James Bond theme song by Billie Eilish, which is of course mixed by Rob Kineski, who is an Amphion customer. So a lot of stuff out there that you just didn't know is made by Amphion. But that's not really the point. Of course, we can only provide the tools, and you sound engineers, you have to come up with the magic.
Absolutely.
But I think there are certain ways on how our product is different. And I think part of that is that I think we're all products of our environment. And if we have something in Finland, it is quietness, which is not all the time happening in a big city like this. And I think if your senses are bombarded all the time, be it noise or any even wallpaper music, what I call this constant music that is around in the public spaces or whatever, you kind of get numb a little bit. But I think it's still possible to go back. I actually strongly believe that there is this need, let's go on a holiday, to go sit by the seaside or go to the forest or whatever. And I think the sonic soundscape is a big part of it, even if you don't realize that.
Absolutely.
And it is calming for us. I mean, I think what I like about here, people know that the sound of running water is very good for you. And there's a lot of birds actually here, which is surprising for a big city, which to me contribute to a very nice soundscape. So these kind of things are also reflected in how we see the speakers. We try to keep the essence and take everything that is not absolutely needed away. And it's kind of equivalent of farm to table type of cooking. You use the best possible ingredients and you just respect them, and you try to come up with something that provides a fully fulfilling, memorable meal, and without any frills.
I have this good news for everyone, which is that we have all kinds of Amphion speakers here at the Dr.Head. You have to come, because this is the thing that we cannot describe it and talk about this on camera. You have to come and try it, and then you will understand what I'm talking about, because then you sharing my experience as well. Because when you listen to them, or when you watch a movie like that he showed me, for example, James Bond movie, it was another dimension. You seeing things differently, you feeling things differently. So please come here, give it a try. Test these speakers, then we can talk and you will understand better what I'm talking about. So we were talking, and you were also mentioned something about healing through sounds, which was amazing. Then I was thinking about that. This healing, what's that? And then I realized sometimes we, as you mentioned right now, we're missing the nature sounds. And through these speakers, I was able to get those things. So please talk a little bit about that, because again, I know I'm repeating myself again, as he was telling me, these are the speakers that pro people using, like him, like JM, and also these are the speakers that I can have them at home and enjoying the new era. So let's talk about that, the consumer's level, why, for example, someone needs to have these things and how it's changing their experience.
I'm not going to bore you with the technical details because they're not interesting, but there are two things called timing and phase, which are actually, to me, the most overlooked things in sound, in making sound or speakers. The professionals, of course, are used to these kind of things because they are exposed to them all the time. Especially musicians know what is correct and what is working. But I think it's what's important, and why I'm banging my head to the wall and trying to get the message across, is that deep down, human beings, we are water and electricity. Anything that comes from outside either harms or heals. And of course, I strongly believe that the reason music has been with us from beginning is that it has a lot of healing qualities if done properly, because it is a transfer of emotion and energy from one person to another. So those sound waves, if done correctly, can actually make you feel good, make you relax. And I think especially in a modern environment and society like Dubai, for example, where your days are very, very long. You work hard. There's a lot of constant activity. It reminds me of Hong Kong, where I used to live for 5 years. So unless you find your little oasis, it could be that one song that you like, and you're gonna burn your candle from both ends, and it doesn't. It's not good for you. In many ways, people here go to spas. To me, there is this experience called sonic spa, and you just put something that you like, and it's calming. It can be either there to block the noise. I mean, I actually used to experiment a lot. I was invited that do a sound system for this housing exhibition, and it was summer. The windows were open, so of course you're in Finland. You hear a lot of the nature sounds automatically, and then it was very interesting to experiment with what came out of the speakers and what the nature did, and make sure that they blend naturally, because this is actually very easy to evaluate. Even a high-end sound system is that plays something, sound of running water, waves, winds, whatever. We know how they are supposed to sound like, and there's a lot of well-recorded sound streaming soundtracks out there. So because we all know how they're supposed to sound, and most importantly, how they're supposed to make us feel, because that to me is the most interesting aspect of sound. Yes, how does it feel? It's okay, but to me is how does it make you feel? Not how it sounds. It's the interesting part, an important part. And therefore, again, these kind of evenings are wonderful because you see the instant reaction in people. I mean, we had somebody who had only worked on headphones before and has basically been on the headphone all the time. And he was all smiles and giggles, and how can it be like this? I have everything I like in a headphone, plus it's a different experience. Of course it's a different experience because you also have the physical aspect of sound hitting on.
We always talk about the push of air of the speaker.
Yes.
And
the energy transfer is super important.
It's very real.
Yes.
For me, I think we can sit and talk a lot about the pro stuff and get into the details, but I want to broaden it a bit. What would you consider to be the main difference between the set of the pro speakers and the consumer speakers? And why would I want to, as a consumer, go for Amphion to put in my home theater or like in front of my TV and not go for, the common brands that, most of the people use out there, and not justify, me buying these set of speakers and investing in that sound and the quality that we're talking about?
Well, I mean, since I was a 14-year-old boy, I wanted to hear what the mastering engineer hears. And today, if you are a fan of, Billie Eilish, Justin Bieber, Beyoncé, Beck, Kendrick Lamar, all of that music is actually made by Amphion customers. So in that sense, if you want the true undiluted experience, maybe it's fun to check it through the product that it was made with instead of something else. And of course, I'm not saying that something is better than worse, but I think first-hand experience is interesting, and this is how you need to evaluate it. When it comes to the differences, we strongly believe that in order for the good sound to go into people's homes, it needs to become part of the interior. And therefore, naturally, on the home side, we have different finishes, and you can play with the colors to match it with your sofa or whatever. Where on the pro side, it only comes in this
Yeah.
black and white combination.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
James, I have this question because as a person, first everybody search him, Google him, whatever you want to. You want someone to sit with you and talk about sound and sound engineering and designing and all of this stuff without repeating himself, and you started sitting like this. This is the guy. I think it's amazing talking to him, and he's trying to teach me some stuff I'm not learning. Anyhow, I do my best. First, everybody please Google J.M. Elgas. He is well-experienced person. He knows his stuff. And if you let him, he will talk 2-3 hours constantly about sound engineering and his experience, which they are amazing. And you're not going to be tired of hearing him. But as a person who, let's say, studied these speakers and you have some experiences with these speakers and also other kinds of speakers, and I know you love this. So, or sorry, as you say, monitors. Tell me about about.
I always find it funny when we say monitors and people don't understand. They're like, "What monitors? Like, you're getting an LG screen?" Like, no, we call these monitors because that's what we do. Like, we're monitoring the sound. We're trying to. So, in general, what we want, like I said earlier, is that we want complete transparency of what is being produced as a sound wave or whatever to what comes into our ears, so we can shape it to however we want. And the thing that when we say the music that you listen to has been made with these speakers means that the music that is recorded, for the people that don't know, is not the same music that you end up listening to at the end. It goes through a process of polishing and working with it and doing a lot of stuff. And for you to be able to work with that, you need complete transparency to understand what your source sounds like and how you want it as a finished result to sound like. And it goes back to the experience of, if you want to listen to exactly how that artist intended his music to sound, the closest thing you can do is to listen at the same speakers that he was listening to, right? And this is what these speakers do. Like, when you sit here, you feel that energy, you feel that push and pull of the speaker and how everything is translating. It gives you a whole different dimension and what we call like a stereo image and where everything is playing and what's happening. And that helps you with your decision making in terms of, what am I going to do? Because the way I see music is like a play. You've got the main characters and supporting, actors, and you've got scenes where somebody goes into the front, does their part, goes back, another person comes to the front, does or like two people doing the same thing. And that's what these speakers allow you to do with music and all the musical elements that you're working with. That's where we're at in terms of the pro world and what we're trying to do to get it to the consumer that sits and listens and gets the whole spectrum and the whole feel of what it was meant to sound like.
That's actually you're right, because after my experience, this is 100% true. Again, everybody, please, we have different kinds of these monitors, speakers here at Dr.Head. I do believe you need to listen to them. There is no way to describe it. Sometimes you can describe something, some scenery, some experiences, but these things you just need to have your own experience, and you're always more than welcome to come and see us. So, what's next? Is there something that you're keeping as a secret, or you're planning, you're working on something?
I think the biggest challenge, and I hope things like this will help in that sense, is that to exposing normal people to the pleasures of good sound. Because already now I'm a little bit scared that we talk about professional and there's, I'm not a professional. So it doesn't have to be complicated. I think we should talk about more also and remind people that what is possible if you, let's say, if you invest in a reasonably priced, good quality pair of speakers, even with your TV. Because I think this is, even if you're not listening at all music, most of the people are looking at or watching TV in the evening, normally late at night when maybe the kids have gone to bed or you don't want to bother your neighbors or whatever. One of the nice things about something like this, where we are trying to push the acoustic design and keep products electrically very simple, is that it allows you very high vocal clarity, even on a very, very low listening levels. I mean, whisper like late night listening levels. And I think this is probably more relevant to a normal person who didn't think that, no, I'm not an audiophile, I don't care about this stuff, I can't tell the difference. I haven't had anyone come to the factory who didn't actually realize what we are doing after they just managed to sit down. It's like, I didn't know it can be like this. Why is it only now that I hear about this? And of course, the problem of this high-end industry has been that it's been a guys' club. We don't like that. We actually want to contribute and give something to the whole family. So it makes more justifiable to actually purchase something. I mean, a movie night together with the family. I mean, we talked about how much a good soundtrack contributes to the experience. It's a lot. And of course, that's your special expertise, and you know everything about that. But it does
absolutely
make a big difference. Or I briefly said gaming industry. A lot of the customers, it's surprisingly, I mean, luckily my kids, I don't play, but they have exposed me to that side. And it's surprisingly high quality work what goes into those soundtracks. So it will enrich the gaming experience tremendously. Audiobooks, I mean, again, really good quality production. And it's just so much more pleasant and relaxing to listen to something when it's done correctly, reproduced correctly. So I think there are a lot of things where a good pair of complicated, I mean, non-complicated, easy to use, not crazy expensive hi-fi system that I can actually do. I mean, to me, the housewives are the best examples of somebody who never sits in the sweet spot. Sweet spot is something we called, it's the best seat where everything is kind of optimized. You don't have to do that with Amphion. We actually kind of, I talk about light instead of sound, because light everybody can understand. So our sound is not a beam of light, which often people do. It's kind of a general lighting that fills the whole house with a nice, pleasant light. And I always tend to say that the perfect home needs to, of course, look perfect, but it also needs to feel perfect. And in order for that to do, it needs to sound perfect. And that's the part where most dwellings fail miserably, because especially in this kind of environment where concrete is the main building materials, unless you take care of what sort of speaker you're using, it can get very echoey, very annoying very quickly. And that's, I think that's something where a product like Amphion can actually help, because you don't have to play loud.
I want to add to that something that I used to go through in terms of, like, when you just mentioned the low volume levels that you can actually hear everything and be clear. And because I once bought one of those sound bars, regular sound bars, and like you'd be at night, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people can relate to this, and you'd be watching something, and then a dialect is clear, and then SFX comes in, and all of a sudden it's so loud, then you end up literally spending your whole movie on like riding the volume up, down, okay, they're talking up a bit, down, there's SFX, and it becomes a nightmare. So just to add to what you're saying, because as soon as you said it, I literally had flashbacks to having to do that. So yeah, exactly. I'm pretty sure a lot of the people that are not into pro audio have definitely faced this, and now are like probably thinking about this.
And also, I think it's important to notice that you don't need any complicated, where do I put all these speakers in a living room kind of home theater. You can get very good three-dimensional experience out of the stereo system if it's done correctly. So no difficult to place center speakers, or where do we put the surrounds. No. Keep it simple, but and it can be still very good.
That's the amazing thing again about these speakers or monitors is, yes, they are absolutely super pro level for super professional people like JM, and also it is a good fit and a good asset and a good add-on to your TV room or while you're watching TV at home. So it's filling the gap. So you're having super professional speakers and when using them at home, and this is gonna change the level of listening to the music, to watching the movie with the family, all of these things. So that's my experience. And I think and I hope that other people can come and share and have the same experience.
Really, I must say that I've enjoyed my time here in Dubai tremendously, and let's hope that there will be many more opportunities to come here and enjoy the best of life together in many ways. So
I'm very passionate about audio. I just want people to come in and just experience the difference. Like, you don't have to come in and feel the pressure to buy, or just at least we live once. Experience proper audio once. That's it. And make up your mind.
Absolutely. So thank you for watching our program. Again, visiting Dr.Head head office and store is absolutely game-changing and a different experience about your experience and with the audio system. So come here, visit us, and we're gonna be here for you, answering all your questions. So have a wonderful and pleasant time. See you guys soon. Bye.